Alrighty guys, what is going on everybody? Welcome to a live stream here for today. Hope everyone is doing good out there. Glad to have you guys here. It's been a long time no see. Didn't see you guys yesterday. I had a pretty bad headache, so I was unable to make it for a update live stream. But anyways, my friends, let's go ahead and see who we got here for today. Let's go ahead and see. We have Hunter, we have Aiden, we have Goofy, we have Carson, we have, let's see here, Ragtie. Ragtie saying, checking in, look forward to another great update. Love this channel. Thank you so much, Ragtie. Very sweet of you. Let's see here. We got MP saying, what's up? Frost Advisory here in New York. Wow, interesting. We'll have to take a look at that. Let's see here. Spencer saying, what's up? What's up? Hope we're doing good. We have Kelly, we have Kyle, we have JR, we have Larina, and I think that is all in the chat so far. What's up, guys? Hope everyone is doing good. So we are watching two systems out in the Atlantic. One of them is still Ophelia. I think that's the name of it. You know, I am not good with French, so I'm pretty sure it's something different, but I'm calling it Ophelia. Or sorry, not Ophelia. Philippe. Philippe. That's what it was. Ophelia. That's already losing my mind, y'all. Anyways, but yeah, no, we're watching two systems out there. We got actually another shot of high development chance. According to the Hurricane Center, we got a 90% chance of another storm, another broad area of low pressure turning into a tropical depression or a tropical storm. We got an overall 90% chance of development. That's actually where the infrared view is coming from. We were just looking at there. We're going to go and hop you all back over here. But yeah, no, we have a pretty solid chance of future development with this system here. We're going to bring you all back over here to that. But overall, I mean, we have ourselves a 90-90 chance. So basically a 90% chance the system will turn its way into, like I said, turn its way into a tropical storm or tropical depression over the next 48 hours or 2 days. And throughout the next week, the next 7 days, there's also that 90% chance. So this thing is likely going to form, I'd say, tomorrow. It's a good shot. This thing will be once again, a depression or a storm by tomorrow. We'll definitely need to look out there for that. Let's see here. What's up, Cal? Hope you're doing good. See, it wasn't even alerted thunder and lightning here in Cincinnati. There's been some thunderstorms around here, actually. I haven't got any good ones here in Kentucky, though, at least from where I'm at. But I've heard that there's been some around me. Yeah. Let's see. It's a small chance for something severe today, but honestly, it's really not too crazy. Let me go and hop you all over here to the main screen. So here's today's severe weather event. Just two marginals. I mean, nothing extreme. I mean, tornadoes not expected out of this storm. Mostly just a hail event, actually. Then tomorrow, across Ohio, in Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, I mean, even southern Illinois, we got ourselves another severe weather threat. No tornadoes once again. Just hail and damaging winds is the concerns. 5% chance for those. Just a quick little update there on the severe weather table. But anyways, yeah, back over here to the system here. Like I said, overall, this thing will likely turn into a tropical depression or a tropical storm here, possibly by tomorrow. Definitely thinking that by tomorrow, this will be a good shot. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it. We also have ourselves another one here. Let's see. This is, someone said it, Philippe. Philippe, I think it is. Let's see here. MP coming with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. That's very sweet of you. Y'all give MP a big thank you. That is very sweet of you. That's much appreciated. Thank you so much for the super chat. You did not have to do that. Huge shout out goes to MP. Thanks once again. But when it comes back to, let's see, I think it's Philippe. I need to get used to saying Philippe. Because to me it looks like Philippe. Or something like that. Something along the standards. But anyways, but let's go and hop our way over here to Philippe. I think there's a... Where's it at? Hold on. What? I thought there was one here. Maybe not. We have Ophelia, post-tropical. Where is Ophelia? That's what I'm wondering. Oh. Oh. Interesting. So apparently that's the region where Ophelia is at. Let's go and hop our way over here to the, let's see if we can find it. Maybe it's, I mean, it is a tropical storm, so I don't know why it didn't have its own little satellite. Maybe I'm just blind. Let me try looking this again. Hold on. We got Nigel. Yeah, Nigel's old. Wait a minute. There's Ophelia, Nigel. Where's Philippe? I guess we don't have it. Let's do main development region. Maybe this will be it. Actually, you know what? I got a better idea for y'all. Got a better idea. Hold on. We're going to go to the Atlantic Basin. Here we go. All right. Now this should be working. Just going to do clean and bingo. There we go. All right. We're rolling. So, yeah, so Philippe is a tropical storm. Sustained winds of 45 with gusts up to 60, you know, overall. Now, this system is expected to go west, relatively westward. The thing is, though, is it's actually supposed to, you know, kind of die out over time. We're going to dive into models, and I'm going to explain what's going on with the storm here in general. If we take a look here at the current, you know, loop of the infrared view, I mean, you can see that there is a decent amount of thunderstorm activity associated with this storm and stuff like that. You know, it's somewhat organized. I mean, somewhat disorganized in a way. I mean, it's a lot of scattered thunderstorm activity, but I mean, it could be better. But it is, like I said, it is a tropical storm. Once again, sustained winds of 45 with gusts up to 60. But yeah, gradual northwest development is expected over the next couple of days. It is actually expected to, you know, strengthen maybe a little bit. Right now it's at 45. We were just talking about. It's actually supposed to get maybe up to around 50 miles an hour. Then it's gonna, you know, start to weaken again. And then, of course, it goes post-tropical as it, you know, kind of pulls to the northern side here of the Caribbean. But anyways, so we'll definitely look at that. Let's actually hop over to the models here. I'm really curious to see, you know, what's going on with the system and why it's doing what it's doing here. Let me go ahead and bring y'all over here to this. So, Philippe, I think that's the name. Once again, it's going to take me a minute to remember that one. That's for sure. Let's do this here. Here we go. All right, let's go ahead and see. Do I have... Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and hop you guys over here to the model. So this is the HWRF model regarding Philippe. So obviously we are seeing this thing track its way to the west here. Really not expected to do quite much. What's really interesting, though, is that another low apparently... You see that up there? Another low kicks up. I think that's... what's it called? I think it's that one system. What was it? I keep on forgetting these names. I do. I think that's Ophelia. Yeah, Ophelia. Pretty sure that's the remains of Ophelia here. Yeah, that little low, that little low pressure system you see there. Anyways, but we track our way down in time. So this system, honestly, has some problems. It looks like. First thing I want to check is the moisture, and that seems to be mostly probably a bit of the problem. Doesn't seem like wind shear is a problem, but it seems like a lot of dry air. That seems like the problem. Yeah, because you can see a lot of the brown and tan colors here. That is telling us that the humidity is less than 50% on average throughout the entire atmosphere. So that's just telling us that overall the conditions are very dry, which is not suitable for tropical development. So it looks like it just doesn't get enough moisture. A big old jet of dry air gets sucked its way up into portions of Ophelia there. I think it was Ophelia. I keep on getting these mixed up here. Let's see here. Yeah, Ophelia. This would be this guy right here, the remains of that. But anyways, but that is, that is kind of what we are, seeing here, overall. And whenever it comes to it, like I said, we had the back storm. That's the other storm we're going to watch. This is that new development area. It does appear that there is a lot of moisture associated, with this system here in general. We have definitely got to be, monitoring the progression of this here overall. It has a solid chance, I'd say, of maybe becoming a, like I said, maybe becoming a strong tropical storm. If not a, maybe a hurricane at some point. I mean, it's possible. It's definitely a possibility. It seems like moisture is not a problem for this system, unlike what's going on with the other one. But yeah, no, this low here is just going to be fading out just because, like I said, there's not enough moisture. It's just going to allow it to die. But the second storm here that's getting ready to develop, like I said, I think tomorrow will be the day it turns into a depression or a tropical storm. That's a good possibility here by tomorrow. But it looks like this one has a lot more moisture and stuff like that overall. Whenever it comes to wind shear, let's see here. Wind shear, it doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. It could be maybe a little bit of a problem for that new system. I think it's 91L that's trying to develop here. You can see a little bit of the venting process from what's going on here with Philippe. I already forgot it. That's what happens. Hold on, I gotta go back up. Gotta remember this one. Let's see here. Not Philip. It's Philippe. Philippe. There we go. Okay. But anyways, yeah, no. Philippe's venting could have a problem on the new system, at least for a brief amount of time. As this thing basically just dies out due to a lot of dry air overall. But anyways, yeah, we'll just have to watch that. We'll definitely keep an eye out there for it. I think we have some spaghetti models already set for 91L. Yep, there it is. So there's a little bit of disagreement. We're going to hop you all over here to the main screen here overall. So it looks like, yeah, there is a bit of disagreement here overall. Whenever it comes to it here, with the majority of the models, that middle ground is kind of right in here. You always got to kind of take that middle ground and use the best possible outcome because, it's the average between the models. And you can see as far north some of the models go, like the AEMI. That one goes pretty far up north, and then you have some like the Cody that goes far to the west. There's still unknowns, like I said, in terms of its further track, but gradual development to the northwest, gradual motion, I should say, to the northwest, is the expectancy over the next 3 days or so. Because the 24-hour mark is a day from now, which it should be somewhere in that region. 48 hours right in here, and like I said, 72 hours, which is 3 days, somewhere in there. So, like I said, we'll just definitely have to keep an eye out there for it overall, and we'll see. Do I think there could be a potential hazards? Let's see here. United States straight down the road. I hope you'll be able to answer. So, yeah, like I said, we don't know the path of the extended range right now. All that we do know is that this thing is probably going to have some gradual development as it works its way here to the northwest for the most part, then turning a bit more west, it looks like. Like I said, it definitely looks like this system is, tracking to the northwest, and it looks like it's going to be pulling a little bit more harder to the west here. The majority of the models have this thing pulling west. I mean, there's only a couple as of now that has it kind of steering really far up north. But anyways, that is, that is essentially what we are seeing here overall. But yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out there for it. We'll definitely have to watch out for that here overall. I think the ensembles, wow. Ensembles really show this thing tracking out to sea here, which is really interesting. Really interesting. This thing gets really pulled out according to the ensembles here. But, once again, this is still some early model activity. And, but it seems like a good possibility. It seems like a good possibility this thing could steer out to sea. But, all we know as of right now is that, the majority of the weather models, the main spaghetti models we were looking at, has this thing, actually maybe turning a little bit more to the west. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out there. Ensembles are not always something you should 100% trust, but it's something to, definitely take a look out there for. And whenever it comes to intensity, actually, this is what I was talking about, you guys. All the spaghetti models has this thing getting into tropical storm force, so that's pretty much a given at this point. And, maybe gradual development, may have possibly even into low-end hurricane status, seems to be a good possibility with the system here overall. So we'll definitely need to be looking out there for that. And like I said, it is looking like it is going to possibly even be a hurricane at some point. We'll definitely have to watch out for that. More than half of the models, as you can actually see here, supports, the system basically stronger than tropical storm force. Tropical storm force is stronger. But all the models, every single model here, it does show itself, every single model here does show it getting in the tropical storm force. Possibly within the next 12 hours or so. I think it could be a tropical storm by tomorrow. It's definitely doing pretty well. If we hop back over here to the satellite imagery on the storm, it's not looking too bad. Really, it's not looking too bad. It's a little organized. It's still, a little disorganized still. It still needs a little bit of work to do, but that cluster of thunderstorm activity is definitely centralized in a low pressure area. Which that will, that's good. That's definitely good, good for the storm here in general. And yeah, no, I think this thing possibly could be a, definitely something could possibly be a, the storm, possibly a tropical storm here by tomorrow. Let's see what the actual Hurricane Center mentions on this here. Let's see here. So here we go. So development in a tropical depression or storm is expected to form in the next day or so, while the storm moves west-northwestward across the central tropical Atlantic. Intentional information, blah, 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 National Hurricane Center. So, let's see, yeah. So formation chance over the next 48 hours is a 90% chance. So basically in the next 2 days, 48 hours, there's a 90% chance this thing will be a tropical depression or a tropical storm. And formation chance over the next 7 days or the next week, basically a week from now, 90% chance. So yeah, this thing will likely form here in the next day. I'm really confident tomorrow we'll actually have the system develop here overall. But that's that. That's what we're looking at there. Once again, we got ourselves, let's see, Philippe here. Philippe's still kind of, doing its own little thing out there. A little bit of strengthening is possible, over the next day or so. I mean, we are expecting this thing to potentially, right now, first of all, this thing's in the 45 mile per hour zone. Did they just downgrade that? It looks like they just did. Did they just update that? I guess they did. 9 o'clock update. I'm pretty sure they just updated that. So now it's not even forecasted to strengthen at all. Now it's just forecasted to actually weaken a bit, which is interesting. That is a big change since last update. Anyways, well, yeah, there you go. Maybe gradual, hovering for the next little bit, and then it's supposed to maybe weaken a bit. Like I said, it really seems like that dry air is going to be hurting that storm. That's the problem that's the main problem in general with the storm here overall. Is the fact that, we are seeing a lot of dry air associated with the system. Once again, tropical systems need a lot of moisture in order to, thrive and in order to, kick off and stuff like that. But yeah, no, definitely, we got to look out there for that. Let's see here. What's up, Pilot? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Let's see here. What's up, Bone Mama? Hope everyone's doing good. Thanks for joining, y'all. Hope you guys are having a great night. But like I was talking about, guys, dry air is a really big problem, for this one in particular storm here. The storm following behind it, like I said, not really. 91L shouldn't have too much problem with moisture, at least in the beginning of its lifetime. At least from what we see right now, it shouldn't be a problem yet. We'll see about later on in the future, though. But yeah, you can just see how, the system just fades out over time. I mean, it's just going to be very dry. I mean, I can show you guys real quickly the humidity throughout the atmosphere. So basically, the brown and the tan colors, that represents a lot of dry air, what tropical systems do not like. And like I said, across the bluish green color here, that is kind of showing us, essentially, the moisture-filled air. The moisture-filled air in general. So that is that. So if we work our way down in time, I mean, there's a little bit of moisture, obviously. It's getting some convection off, but it seems like it's going to be running into a few pockets of dry air, which is just ultimately going to end its fate overall. And then it looks like it actually might encounter some strong winds, actually, the more I look at it from the GFS model. Could, in theory, you can see the winds actually increase, pushing right up against the storm. Shouldn't be too crazy, though, for the storm, but, overall, just not a lot of moisture for the system in general. I mean, it definitely fights with some dry air for a while. I think that is the main problem with the system. But then we get ourselves 91L out there. I mean, this thing has a big pocket of moisture. I mean, little to no wind shear issues. I mean, this thing's in a prime condition. I mean, this thing is definitely in some good development zones here. The GFS has this thing steering to the north. Let's actually go and hop to the full Atlantic view. So there you go. You can see that there. 91L, the one that we're watching here, that will probably become a storm tomorrow. This one is, according to GFS, possibly an extended range tracking north and maybe out to sea. As of now, it doesn't seem like, too much of an issue for land at the current moment anyways, but we'll definitely have to watch out for that still. But yeah, like I was saying, though, a lot of pull of moisture. I mean, there's a lot of energy available for the storm here to, really get that kick on and really start to kick off there overall. So it's definitely looking, pretty different there. So we'll definitely need to be, looking out there for that. But whenever it comes to, let's see here, whenever it comes to other models, like the ECMWF here, the European model, the Euro model, obviously, yeah, it really shows the system driving right into that dry air. It honestly kind of shows 91L possibly even, dealing with a little bit of dry air itself, but at some point finally gets its act together and does something kind of similar to what the GFS has been talking about, and that is the fact that it might actually pull north. It seems like a good possibility as of right now. I'd say that's probably like the most likelihood the most likelihood scenario is this thing, travels northwest, then pulls north, as we do have ourselves a high pressure ridge across the eastern United States, which will, across the southeast will lead to some pretty nice conditions overall. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but yeah, no, definitely, we got to definitely look out there for it. I mean, that's going to help block the United States and, portions of the Caribbean actually from, experiencing this. It's a good shot. It's definitely a good possibility out there. Definitely a good shot. And let's see, the CMC model, overall, whoa, what's going on with the CMC? That is weird. Look at that. So, that is a really weird approach. This model is really crazy. Okay, so, we have, let's see, what was this one? Philippe, whatever that one. Philippe, we're going to call it Philippe. I'm always going to call it that. But yeah, that storm, obviously, yeah, it does fade out as it runs in the dry air, but it gets revived because we have 91L right there. 91L tracks northwest. There you go. Looks like it's a little bit of a satellite vortice on main storm here of Philippe, or not, sorry, 91L. 91L, Philippe just gets revived from the dead and just gets, starts chasing it and actually maybe turns into something. That's the only model that supports that. That's what we tell you guys. I mean, that there's an outcast in the models. I mean, you got to be, basically, ruling out the outcast. What the models disagree on is what you need to throw in the trash. What the models agree on, that's what you keep. That's the solid information that you'll receive. And there's really no other model right now that supports this, so I'm not too fond of this idea. But something that has been popping up, and something that's actually been, a continuation between all these models, like I was talking about, is that high pressure across the east should act as a shield for the United States, which would be good, and possibly even portions of the Caribbean as well. So, definitely is, something to definitely keep an eye out there for. So, it really looks like this thing possibly could pull to the north, but say if it does pull to the north, then that could be a problem for, like, Bermuda again. There's still a lot of questions at this point. I mean, for the next 3 days, I mean, we're talking northwest movement. That's, 3 days is pretty solid. I mean, we understand, for the most part, what's going to happen in the next 3 days. But whenever it comes to it here, in general, I mean, whenever it comes to it overall, I mean, it is basically, a pretty good trend here from what the models are saying. It's gradual northwest development here. Let's see here. Just guessing at this point. No, not particularly. I mean, we have the information. I mean, like the spaghetti models and all that stuff to give us guidance in terms of what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen with the system for the next couple of days, and we mentioned that here actually, how the storm is expected to do a northwest movement here. Let's just go ahead and show you all this here real quickly. So you can actually see here how the system is expected to gradually move to the northwest over the next 3 days, next 72 hours. That is a fact. That will happen for the most part. You can actually see all the models. I mean, there's no models that spread out in different areas here. But from what it shows us, yeah, we're definitely looking very confident on the fact here of this thing tracking northwest here overall. Let's see here. But anyways, so that's that, my friends. That's something that we definitely need to be looking out there for in general. Let's go and hop over to, let's see, what was that, Philippe? Philippe here. So when it comes to Philippe, regarding the system here in general, I mean, this one is expected to just pull straight to the west. I mean, for the most part, just gradual movement to the west here overall. And like I said, whenever it comes to it, whenever it comes to the the overall view on the storm here, in particularly, like I said, with this guy, it's going to be running into a lot of dry air, which is going to be definitely a problem here. It's going to be driving straight into some dry air, which is just going to suffocate and basically choke out the storm in general. So that would be a bit of a problem. And you can see the guidance here between the models. I mean, just gradual weakening is an expectancy out of the system here. It's just going to gradually start to slope down before ultimately just getting fizzled out. But that's that. So let's see here. But anyways, that's what's going on there, y'all. I do want to go ahead and take a moment to explain possible outcomes in the U.S. in terms of weather over the next little bit. So we'll leave the tropics aside here for a moment. Just give it a few minutes here. We'll be back in the tropics here though soon. But whatever it comes to it overall, I mean, with the next few days happening here, I mean, high pressure looks to be building in across, most of the eastern country for the most part. I mean, that's basically a fact between all the models we looked at. CMC, ECMWF, GFS shows that high pressure ridge across the east, which that will allow for, some pretty nice sunny conditions, mostly dry conditions overall. Definitely a possibility in general. It looks pretty dry. It does unfortunately look pretty dry for the most part. It does look like we possibly, in the very far long range, could have a system, maybe bring up across the Central Plains into the upper Midwest, but, that is very, very far out. But you want to know something, guys? We've been starting to notice here in the latest days, starting to notice some blue popping up there on the models. That's snow. It just goes to show you we're getting closer and closer. That snow line starting to be brought further and further down. So, my friends, we are in fall now. Snow can start happening. Usually starts up in the upper northwest here. With especially those upper elevations, we really start to see some snowfall across these regions here. Usually in the beginning part of the year, I mean, is basically as early as October. I mean, it's kind of what it seems like. But that's what seems to be going on there. I mean, for the most part, once again, a little bit of storm activity actually expected for tomorrow across the Ohio Valley. You can see right here we have ourselves a, let's see, we're going to hop over here. Tomorrow we got a little threat for severe weather, actually across Kentucky where I'm at. So literally my state here is in the risk for severe weather. This includes portions of southwestern, portions here of Ohio, southern portions of Indiana, southern Illinois, pretty much all of Kentucky for the most part, central and northern Tennessee for the most part, actually. So a little bit of severe weather is possible. Main concerns, hail, damaging winds, hail between quarter size, and whenever it comes to... whenever it comes overall to the damaging winds, probably around 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts is in the expectancy range. So, let's see here. Digital says if 91L is to get close to Florida, would it encounter shear and dry air? Potentially, but it looks like the most likely scenario out of that system is it's going to pull north because we mentioned here that we have. Here we're going full screen this here for y'all. We mentioned here that we have this big dome of high pressure that is, more than likely going to be in place across portions here of the country, across the eastern country, which will definitely, certainly help out with the system and help keep it abroad. I mean, for the most part, you can see like the GFS in the long range here has it just remaining a fish storm. I mean, most models do actually. I mean, we have the latest ECMWF, the European model here. I mean, you can kind of see how it steers its way out here, pulls to the north, which ultimately will more than likely go out to sea there. Definitely a good shot. I mean, we have the CMC model showing kind of the same thing. Let's see, we haven't looked at Icon yet. Whenever it comes to the Icon model overall, this one doesn't go out as far, but, it seems like it does start to pull a little bit more to the north there, and that high-pressure dome is a good replacement, or a really, really good overall, really, really good overall, standpoint here from what the models are showing here. It's that, all the models we've looked at here shows this big dome of high pressure, potentially helping block the system away from the U.S. But anyways, let's see here. But but that's what's going on there, y'all. That's kind of what's happening here in terms of, the latest information and all of that stuff here overall. I do want to bring y'all over here to the drought monitor really quickly. I want to go ahead and show you guys just how dry the country is real quickly. So here's the latest information on the drought monitor. I mean, very dry. I mean, El Nino, in some areas, definitely brings some dry conditions. I mean, especially across like the upper north here. Even you can see out there towards the upper Midwest here. I mean, we're talking very dry conditions. I mean, typically El Nino does do that for the most part because you get that jet stream that gets altered. Not too many storms, which ultimately leads to less precipitation overall. For the north, I mean, for the south, it's usually a little different, especially during the winter time overall. But it's still very dry out here. I mean, we're in an extreme drought for the most part. So that is essentially what we are. Seeing here. What's going on in the chat? Are y'all being dramatic over there? What y'all fighting about? Keep it cool, y'all. But very dry across the country. I mean, even across portions of the Mid-Atlantic. I have family out in Virginia. I've mentioned probably several times on this channel, but they've been saying it's been very dry. That precipitation that we got here from that storm overall, definitely did bring a little bit more precipitation, but still it's pretty daggone dry out there for the most part. Let's see. Actually, no, this is actually not updated. I just realized this is September 8th, 19th, 23. So we're still a few days out. I'm sure that the droughts have slightly receded a little bit. But anyways, hey TRG, can I have a talk with you after stream? You're not in trouble or anything. I just want to talk to you about something real quickly. But anyways, but that's that, my friends. You know, that is essentially what we are seeing here overall. We basically covered all the grounds we need to. So over the next little bit, you guys, let's see, they have some missions out. What's going on? This is in Louisiana. Unassigned mission. Interesting. But anyways, yeah. You know, definitely got to be on the lookout there for the next couple of days. You know, like I said, tomorrow, I definitely think that this system, you know, could turn into a, definitely could turn into a, a potential storm or a depression. I think it's a good shot. You know, I definitely do think it's a good shot. You know, whenever it comes to it, this system up here, which is Philippe here overall, Philippe for the most part. So we have ourselves, like I said, 45 sustained right now. That's currently the storm, you know, where it's at right now. But Philippe is something we should watch out there for. But, you know, I'm mostly concerned about this one here, which, you know, this is 91L. As of now, it doesn't seem like any threat to land. I mean, obviously, this is still pretty early in its track, but for the most part, it seems like it very well could be a fish storm. So let's hope it stays that way. Let's hope that dome of high pressure is strong enough and it, you know, remains persistent over the next several days. Because, you know, that would definitely help out conditions overall for the Caribbean and for the United States. That would definitely be some good news overall. But anyways, but yeah, so once again, we're going to have to watch out for this here. You know, that is that. But, all right, guys, well, if y'all have any final questions before we roll off here for tonight, feel free to let me know. Once again, big thank you goes to MP for supporting us on the channel here today. Thank you so much with the big $5 super chat. You absolutely rock, my friend. That is very sweet of you. Once again, it's super supportive. Once again, it helps me out with my move. I'm moving in like 10 days, y'all, so this background scenery is going to be completely different. But anyways, but I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And like I said, once again, if y'all have any final questions, feel free to let me know before we head off here. We also do have a Discord. Feel free to join our Discord. It's down in the description. You guys can check all that out and everything like that. Once again, appreciate all of you guys for being here. I mean, you guys absolutely rock. Let's see here. MP says you rock, brother. Thank you so much, MP. You as well. Appreciate that. Once again, thank you so much. It's very sweet of you, and you know, definitely will definitely will help out a lot. Thank you once again. Let's see here. Have fun with the move-in. Yeah, for real. Holy cow. Yeah. So that's gonna be a fun time of its own. Loading up everything. I have to dismantle this big U desk I have. Oh my gosh, I'm not looking forward to that. I gotta, you know, load up the truck. Gotta have a trip 15 hours down to Florida, and then I gotta unload everything again. It's just terrible. It's terrible. But let's see here. I moved twice, but not like 4 hours away. Oh, we're like 15 hours away from my new house. My brother lived in Florida forever, for a long time, and he got a new house, and so moving down there with them. But anyways. But alright, guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. Once again, MP, thank you so much, dude, for the support. Absolutely rock, my friend. Very sweet of you. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Once again, we'll do another update tomorrow. Wow, I'm just looking at something. Hold on real quickly. I'm going to show you guys the radar before we head off here. Look at that. Look how just quickly that thing just died out. That storm just, like, completely just noped out of existence. Let's see. We've got a couple of these guys popping off. This is actually in Texas, by the way. This is actually about Houston. But anyways, you know, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to need coverage on tomorrow's event. I mean, there's no tornado threat tomorrow. Let me go ahead and hop you guys back over here. We got a little marginal for Kentucky, you know, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. Let's see here. And portions here of, you know, Tennessee overall. No tornado threat, just hail and damaging winds. I mean, if it gets upgraded to a slight risk for significant winds or hail, or a tornado threat appears, then I will more than likely be live. But if, you know, none of that happens, then I'll probably just not go live for that. I mean, we'll do another live stream tomorrow regardless, you know, in the tropics, and I'll give you guys some more updates on that probably tomorrow evening, probably around, you know, 8, 9 o'clock like we did today. I feel like that works the best in terms of my time because, you know, in the process of moving. So, all right, you guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. Once again, we're going to go ahead and head off here. I feel like we did, you know, a pretty good job at, you know, letting y'all know what's going on here in general. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know on our Discord. We have our Discord down in the description. The stream guys is gonna head off here in approximately 2 minutes. So go ahead and say your final goodbyes to your friends and family, anybody who's out there that you want to go ahead and say your final goodbyes to. And all right, well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Y'all have a great night and great day tomorrow, and we'll catch you guys later on. All right, guys, peace out. We love you. Be safe out there. See you then.